Hello and welcome. Um, this video is about how I store doll accessories, which I have a lot of because my favorite kind of dolls are, first off, I have the most second-hand dolls, and when you get second-hand dolls, they will need accessories most of the time. So I buy a lot of, just accessory lots, and then also sometimes I will buy a doll and I will buy her for her accessories alone, and I will store the accessories and I will pop the doll cheapish for someone who actually needs the doll, because I have my made to move dolls, and they get changed a lot for doll photography. uh Karen, I think, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I know that it was you, but I may be pronouncing your name wrong. I'm sorry if I am. From Stitches and Starches, I think is the name of the. I know the name, but I'm just not sure of the pronunciations, so excuse me if I'm butchering those. She asked me on Instagram if I would like to, share how I store. This is a small portion of all the boxes of stuff that I have. Obviously, I'm a hoarder, but let's start with the actual storage boxes. So, this I got from a local store, and it's essentially for tools. It's just little drawers like that, and it has a lot of them. That's, to me, if I can have like enough space to put like 20 of them, I would get 20 of those, because you know if you are a more neat person, you can put little labels and you can know exactly what's what. But I have something like photographic memory, and I don't know, I remember things that I want to remember very, very well, and then numbers and other things, I cannot remember. I cannot remember my phone number, but I can remember what's in every one of these drawers or all the boxes that I have. I just have weird memory. Anyways, this is one thing that I recommend. I keep shoes, doll hands, tails from Monster High, wear cats, and other, all sorts of plastic bits and bobs I keep here. And then I have this type of box, and this is doll shoes, doll purses, doll hats, mainly Barbie stuff. This is all Barbie and Ken in that box, and I like it because it's transparent, and you can see what's in what, and they are kind of sorted, but not really. Pink shoes, yellow shoes, green shoes, white shoes, necklaces, hats, you know they are sorted, kind of. And then the other type of box that I have is again a toolbox, and this one is a bit different because you can remove these. And as you can see, I have more of these orange things, but I have removed them here so I can put boots, in the long ones, which is also pretty cool. So if you have a lot of little accessories like shoes and purses and the little plastic accessories that you have with your dolls, I recommend you to go into the tool shop. I don't know what's the name, where they sell, forgot the name of the shop, but hardware shop, yeah. That's the name. I suggest you go in the hardware shop and look for storage boxes there, They are perfect for that kind of thing. Then I have these types of boxes. They are both metal boxes, and they are full of basically dog food. Both of them have dog food inside, and this was from cookies. I have removed all printed labels, but it's a cookie box. And this is, obviously what it is. It's a whiskey box. Whiskey boxes are pretty cool. I do have also the long whiskey boxes. They are full of more plastic things like purses and others, but they aren't that useful because you need to get everything out of the box because they are narrow. And this type of box, it's, you can just put the things to the side to find whatever you're looking for. I said dough food, but that's not food, but you get the gist. It's things for the kitchen, let's say, or for the supermarket of the doughs. So if you have someone in your family who enjoys alcohol, let's say, I don't drink, but all of my relatives, almost all Bulgarian people drink, let's be real here. They all know that if there is a cool metal box, I want it. And they keep them for me, and whenever I go visit or something, they will give me a cool metal box for my things. Talking of sweets, this was a box of sweets. These are Monster High dresses and, one piece bigger outfits. And you can see what's inside, which is really cool. It's, a candy box. It's pretty cool for that. And this was also a candy box. And again, we have Monster High outfits inside, which is pretty cool. One more, candy box. Again, Monster High outfits inside. The smaller candy boxes I use for different types of Monster High outfits. And, this way I know if I need a Monster High shirt, I will look, in this box, or in the other one I will look for pants, or in the other one I will look, I know what's basically in what box. Then, if you're buying a cell phone or a smartphone or, an iPad, they usually come into very sturdy boxes, and those are, good for storage too. I have, more. They aren't Monster High, but they are Monster High sized, let's say, brats and other, tiny outfits. Then shoe boxes. I have a lot of doll clothing in shoe boxes. Here I keep the outfits of my cans. It's just a shoe box, I bought shoes and I kept the box, and I keep my can outfits in here. There is one more like it, and I need more can outfits. Let's say. And then this was a shoe box, but obviously I had time on my hands, and I just glued some stuff and embellished it, let's say. These are big dresses and things that my made to move dolls don't really need, but when I get like a doll that I want to be more like a figurine, I have big fancy dresses in this box. Then This box, you know, was never full of anything. It's just a box that I bought from the craft store, you know, a storage box with a cool pattern. They were different sizes. My boyfriend keeps in the bigger one his collection of ties. He has ties collection. You know, the one that you put on your outfits. I don't know if that's the correct word. Anyways, and inside I have, you know, these are from Sweets, and these are swimsuits in that little macaroon box. These are hats in that macaroon box. This was some sort of treat that my boyfriend brought from China, but the box is very nice and I keep stockings inside. And then we have more, you know, Barbie clothing. These are again dresses and other things like that. And you know, they just stack nicely. And you can put labels on, you know, what's in the box, but I remember all of them for some reason. And the last, that is pretty obvious, but doll boxes. This is my BTS doll box, and it is full of doll jackets. These are only doll jackets. It's a very cool box, you know. Of course, if you do that, if you use it for storage, it will be like that, you know, over time, from pulling it out and getting it back to where you store it, it will get damaged. So if you don't want to damage your boxes, you know, that's not a good idea. But if you don't care for the boxes, like, you know, I don't really care if, you know, all the edges will become white over time, it's a good way to store. And then these BMR boxes. These boxes are my favorite way of storage because they have cool art, and the shape is very nice and very stackable. And here, for instance, I keep doll jeans, Barbie jeans, you know. My Barbies, you know, outfits that they wear the most are in these boxes. I have 10 of these boxes because I have bought 10 BMR dolls and I still haven't bought every single one of the BMR dolls. But, you know, I have bought repeats, for instance, 3 of him, and, you know, repeats of the boys I have bought, and from the girls, you know, just once, but there are, I think, 3 more that I'm missing. Bottom line, if you see these dolls, give them a chance. They're beautiful, stunning dolls with amazing boxes, but the only issue is that they're dressed like clowns. You can undress them and you can dress them in something that you like. Yeah, this is my favorite way of, you know, storing doll clothing. I have one of jeans, one of leggings, one full of skirts, one full of short tops, one full of long tops, one more full of jackets, skirts, shorts, floral dresses, just dresses, you know, for every type of outfit, you know, that I have one of these boxes. And, you know, I kind of remember what's in what box, but, you know, you can just pick very easily what's inside. And you can also, you know, put labels. I just, for some reason, I remember all of them. And yeah, that's how I store my those accessories. These boxes that I showed you again aren't all the boxes that I have, but sweets, you know, boxes of sweets, boxes of cookies and candies, that kind of stuff, boxes from shoes and alcohol, and that type of uh, you know that sort of storage unit also are very good. And I just stack them on a shelf, and that's how I store them. It's not amazing, it's not something new. I have watched other people how they store their outfits and pieces for their dolls. This is what's working the best for me. I have tried other ways, but they didn't work for me. That's how I store my things. I hope that maybe it was useful somewhat, even though I think that it's obvious, yeah, in boxes. But I promised that I would film a little video, and I think that when you are a new collector, it might look obvious to me, but it might not be so obvious for anyone, especially for people who have started collecting recently and all of a sudden they have like a lot of things and they're overwhelmed and they're wondering how to store them. Most definitely, you can, search on YouTube and you find a lot more ideas for storage. And this is how I do everything basically. I do a little research on YouTube and I see what my fellow dog collectors on YouTube do. And I take the ideas that will work for me and I change them a little bit from, depending on what I have at home. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave me a like or a dislike. I won't mind. Comment and subscribe. And I will see you on my next video. Bye bye. Also, how do you store, your dog accessories? Okay, bye for real this time.